Here's Maharaja, daughter, brand new from Otis Taylor. Stay tuned at 4 for Evening Classics with William Mackey doing his swan song today, his final show of his several-year series of modern classical music. Here's Otis Taylor. Stay tuned for William Mackey at 4.
Everything looks good.
Are you running?
I'm running.
She looks like she's standing still, actually.
What? Standing still. Thank you. It was a long drive down.
10 seconds.
Good afternoon. The time is 4 p.m. and you are tuned to WWUH West Hartford, broadcasting at 91.3 FM and online worldwide at WWUH.org as a community service of the University of Hartford. Welcome to What You Will, the Friday edition of Evening Classics, 3 hours of classical music broadcast from 4 p.m. until 7 p.m. I'm your host, William Mackey. And this program is made possible by the financial generosity of listeners like you and the support of the University of Hartford. Thank you. The focus of What You Will is chamber music, as well as music for solo instrument and also vocal music. What You Will is about modern and contemporary music. The program explores the diversity of style and expression of music for chamber ensembles, solo instruments, and voice. The intent of the program is to seek out a wide assortment of music that is both thought-provoking and enjoyable to listen to. In this first hour, as we normally do, we find ourselves in America. We open the program with the 4th piano sonata by Leo Ornstein, which he composed in 1924. First thing is to get everything set up.
Are you going to miss doing this?
Yes, in a way. It's very time consuming. I mean, it takes at least two evenings a week. It's a 3-hour program, and the setup is, in terms of first of all getting the pieces of music to fit together programmatically, it takes one evening. And then writing up my notes takes another. So
You have a lot of stuff to choose from, though. So choosing, how do you pick a particular piece? Or
well, it's actually not a lot because it's limited to modern music. But I do go back as far as 1875, and then it's chamber music. So not every composer was particularly attuned to chamber music, so that limits the choice.
Right.
I got into this. Well, I happened to be sitting at the radio, listening to WWUH radio. It was probably in January or February of 2002, and Keith Barrett, who hosts Monday Evening Classics, during his public service announcements mentioned that they were looking to recruit new members to the classical music staff, and anyone interested could contact him, and I did. I sent him an email, and I took the training program in the summer, probably around May actually, of 2002, and I didn't do anything about it, and I got asked a couple of times if I'd like to sit in or host shows, and it really wasn't until April of 2003 that the opportunity of hosting the Friday Classics came up. Moving now to the music of Irving Fine, we will hear Childhood Fables for Grown-Ups, Set 1, which he composed in 1954. Irving Fine was born in Boston in 1914 and died there in 1962.
Modern chamber music. How did you develop that love?
The gateway was modern jazz.
What?
Well,
I'm shocked. Yeah.
No, I listened to a lot of modern jazz in my late teens. Then I developed an interest in classical music, and certainly when I was at college there was a lot more modern music being played, And in particular, I developed an interest for chamber music, string quartets. So that's how it came about. So the gateway was modern jazz, and in fact, modern jazz has been very influential in terms of allowing composers, serious composers, to construct new pieces of music.
Close calls or whatever.
Yeah, I mean, the wonderful thing about college radio is you can make every silly mistake in the book. With any luck, you learn from it and it won't be repeated. Things like you suddenly discover you forgot to put in the CD in the player and you've got nothing to play. You've just announced it, you've got nothing to play. That happened only once, thank goodness. I hope it never happens again. Quintet for Flute and String Quartet, composed in 1942 by Walter Piston. Performed by the Portland String Quartet, Stephen Ketchka-Matey, violin, Ronald Lantz, violin, Julia Adams, viola, Paul Ross, cello, and Dorio Anthony Dwyer, flute. That's it. Excuse the pause. I got distracted. The broadcast is being filmed today, so I got into a conversation and did something I promised to myself I would never do again, which was to forget to program the next piece of music. Arnold Schoenberg, his 5 piano pieces, Opus 23. And we will hear a landmark recording made by Glenn Gould in 1965. That will be followed by 3 art songs, 3 Lieder, by Alma Mahler. Alma Mahler, the widow of Gustav Mahler, and that will be sung by Iris Vermillion, mezzo-soprano, accompanied by the Royal Concertgebouw Orchestra, Ricardo Chailly conducting. And we will conclude this third hour.
Any thoughts? I mean, I know you'll be back as a guest host.
No, I feel mission accomplished. I feel very happy. I don't feel any pangs of remorse. It's the right decision. I'm spending a lot of time in the program, got a lot of pleasure out of it, but it's time to move on to other things, and I've enjoyed it. It's been an enormous learning experience. I would certainly now classify myself among the more knowledgeable in the realm of modern chamber music. This work concludes, what you will, the Friday edition of Evening Classics. It also draws to a close this 4-year cycle of programs focused on 20th century and contemporary chamber music. During the course of these 200 broadcasts, virtually all of the major string quartet cycles composed in the 20th century have been played here on WWUH radio. There is no other radio station of which I'm aware that can make any similar claim. At any rate, I hope you've enjoyed exploring this engaging, thought-provoking, sometimes challenging music. My intention is to remain a member of the WWUH classical music staff, and I would expect to be sitting in for the regular hosts from time to time. Next Friday, Larry Belansky will be taking over as the regular host of Friday Evening Classics. And this brings to a conclusion the current series of What You Will. Think all but one, and me, in that one will. I'm your host, William Mackey, thanking you for listening and wishing you a very pleasant Friday evening and a relaxing weekend. The time is 7:01 p.m. and you are tuned to WWUH West Hartford, broadcasting at 91.3 FM and online worldwide at wwuh.org as a community service of the University of Hartford. Coming up next is Free Speech Radio News. And there you have it.